Hey there, welcome to this free training, How to Stand Out Online and Land Your Dream Customers. Really excited that you decided to be part of this training. We're going to have a lot of great information, a lot of stuff packed into this training, so definitely pay attention, follow along, take notes if you want to, but you'll also be able to download a full PDF of this training at the very end. And this training is actually sort of a high-level overview of my full online course on this very topic. And at the end of the training, I'll tell you a little bit more about my course and also give you a special offer once you go through and complete this training for the full course. So my name's David Lee. If you don't know me, don't know who I am, I'm a home business owner and coach. I'm an online attraction marketer and also have a background in writing and as an editor. And I'm also the former managing editor of Success from Home magazine. It's a national newsstand magazine that highlights a lot of really successful direct selling companies, network marketing companies, and some of the most successful home business owners in America and other countries as well. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about in this training and the idea of really standing out online and landing your dream customers and also taking your business online and succeeding? So a few of the benefits, what we're really talking about is an online business that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And once you get something like that set up, that's constantly working and generating leads and customers, it totally changes the way you think about earning income. And it certainly did for me when I started taking my businesses online several years ago. And, just the idea of being able to create something and putting it out there online, and because I still get leads from blogs and videos that I posted and published 3 to 4 years ago. They're still out there online working for me and bringing in visitors and customers to my websites, even though I actually created them years ago. And that's incredibly powerful if you think about it. And just ask yourself, what work are you still getting paid on that you did 4 years ago? Heck, what are you still getting paid on that you did 4 months ago? Okay, that's incredibly powerful if you think about it. Okay, so let's jump into part 1. Very important to know your target market. Know and understand specifically who you want to attract to you online. So really, to understand your target market, you really first need to understand this idea of attraction marketing. And don't let that term scare you if you're not into marketing or if you're not a marketer. Because essentially what we're talking about is, call it the difference between traditional push marketing or advertising versus pull marketing. Okay, so push marketing would be things like, this old school Coca-Cola ad that you see. It's advertising, commercials, billboards, things like that, versus pull marketing where you're actually putting out content to attract people to you. And that's what we're going to talk about in this training. The idea of just giving value to your target market, figuring out what it is that they want and need, and then serving them and giving them value. So one big way to do that is to solve your target market's problems. Okay, and where do you go to find that? How do you find out what your target market's problems are? One good way is to go out there and participate in some online groups like Facebook groups. For example, if you're a personal trainer or a nutritionist, you would go find maybe dieting groups or workout groups, things like that, on Facebook or message boards and forums. Pay attention to some Facebook Live videos or Periscope videos where people do open Q&As, or they do maybe an advice video. And then again, message boards or forums. Just pay attention to what people are asking out there. What problems do they have? What are they struggling with? And then once you find those out, you write those down, right? And you really look for specific things, like people having trouble, losing belly fat or strengthening their arms, or I don't know, how to apply certain kinds of makeup, things like that. Get very specific and look for specific problems and issues that you can then use your expertise and passion to answer those problems and to solve them. Here's just an example of some questions that people were posting on a Facebook Live video that I was following. And I'm just paying attention to some of the questions that are being asked. So you can just kind of hang out and become part of these communities and these groups and sort of go mining for content and for questions that they're asking. Another great way to do it is to use what I like to call top secret Google tools that really every online marketer uses these. And they show you exactly what your target market is looking for, because it's going to show you the exact keywords that people are typing into Google when they're searching for things around your topic or business or product or service. And it really gives you just endless ideas for online content, okay? And a few of them, Google AdWords Keyword Planner, and Google Trends is another great one. Okay, and here's just some screenshots of just some of the data that it shows you. It'll show you, how popular the search terms are throughout different times of the year. And it'll even rank them, right? Which is really cool and really powerful. And they just give you a ton of information that you can actually go out there and use, and give you different ideas that people are searching for around your specific topic. And we really dive deep in the full course about showing you how to use these step by step in different on-screen tutorials. Okay, so part 2, getting your website up in a day, and also what to put on there so that you are attracting the type of people that you hope are looking for you and that you really want to do business with. And one of the number one things to realize is that whatever you're doing online, it's all about your online home. And that is your website. That's your hub, or call it your blog. If you have a blog or a website, those are both essentially the same thing. They're interchangeable. Pretty much any blog can have different pages on it in addition to the blog component. So no matter what content that you're putting out there online, your blog posts, your videos, your social media posts, your audio clips, maybe a podcast that you're doing, all of that content leads back to your home, which is where you eventually want people to come back to so that they can buy from you or hire you to work with you, whatever it is that you have to offer. But that's where you want eventually for everybody to sort of come back to, okay? And then in the course, we look at using WordPress as your website editor. Love using WordPress because it's incredibly simple to do. If you're at all familiar with Microsoft Word or pretty much any popular word processing software, you'll be able to use WordPress very easily. And then using website themes that actually convert, that actually attract people, and that makes your website welcoming and functional. So how do you pick a theme? And essentially a theme is just the skeleton of your website, so that you're not having to go out there and pay a web developer, thousands of dollars to build a brand new website from scratch. There's a ton of great WordPress themes out there that are already done and ready to use that you can just install and upload to your website without having to design anything, which is awesome. Okay? And then we also look at why do you want to use a theme. And then keeping in mind to pick a theme that's very mobile friendly. Okay, you see the screenshot over there that shows a nice big widescreen, laptop version, and then also another version that's very mobile friendly that somebody can look at on their phone. Two very drastically different screen sizes. But definitely keep that in mind, because half of all website visitors these days are using some type of mobile device, which is incredibly important to remember. And then we look at plugins, WordPress plugins, okay? And what are those? Those are just enhancements and additions that you can do for your website. And also in that course, I give you a bonus PDF detailing my favorite WordPress plugins that I've used to generate and really cultivate a lot of really valuable traffic to my site. And here's just an example of a WordPress plugin that I like to use. This is essentially a little signature at the end of every single blog post that I have. And I just ask people, if you got some value from it, share it out, leave a comment, ask me a question if I can help you. I also invite them to download my free ebook. And then I have my contact information and also links to my other social media platforms that I'm on. So that's at the very end of every blog post. And that's just a simple plugin that I added to my website. And then I just wrote in what I wanted. And at the very bottom of that is actually another plugin. You see where it says these posts might also help you. And they're just related posts to give my visitors just some more value and some more related information from the posts that they found. So I hope you're getting some value so far. Just wanted to check. If you are, wherever you're watching this, give it a thumbs up. Share it out to anybody that you think might get some value from this training. But definitely hope you're getting some value from it. That's my whole purpose for doing this training. I definitely want to share as much knowledge with you as I can. So definitely give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it out if you're getting some value so far and if you're following me. But let's jump into part 3, really looking at what do you put on your website, okay? What goes on there to make it really inviting and welcoming so that you are attracting the people that you want to attract. So creating your main pages. What goes on those main pages? Really, there are 3 major ones. Your home page, your about page, and your contact page. No matter what, overall, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody different just because you're taking your business online and you're creating your own website. Just be yourself. Be welcoming. Focus on your visitor. Don't try to sell, right away. Just make sure that you welcome them to your site. Treat it as if you were inviting someone into your home. What would you do if somebody visited your home? You would welcome them in, you would offer them a drink, you would show them around, you'd show them the living room, the kitchen, the bathroom. But that's the same idea. Hey, have a look around. Be sure to stop by my blog for some helpful tips on 1, 2, 3. Be sure to stop by my training page or whatever it is. Just be welcoming. Lead them around. Hold their hand. And that's the total opposite of being pushy and salesy and trying to sell them something right from the very beginning. And then your blog component on your site is really your ultimate weapon. That's what you use to create the helpful, valuable content that serves your target market's problems and questions that we talked about earlier. And then in the course, we look at really how do you go about setting up your blog specifically, the steps. Very simple, but we actually look at a few, specific things that you definitely don't want to forget to do. And then how do you get that blog optimized to serve your dream customers? What are some things that you can do to make sure that you're helping them along the way and helping them navigate through your blog post and the information that you want to give them and that you want to figure out how you can solve their problems and answer their questions. And we also look at the right way to show off, right? Maybe you've got, maybe you're a freelancer or you've got some work that you want to showcase. And here's just a little graphic that I did on my website just to kind of show some different things that I've done, some covers of some of my magazines, and then some of my articles that I've written, and just showing just kind of a variety of some things that I've done. But the key with that is to make sure that you do it in a way that brings value to your visitors, okay? Not just showing off of what you can do, but what you can do for them. Okay, that's what it's all about. The value that you can bring to them, okay? And you can do that without being pushy or salesy. It's just how you have maybe solved some other people's problems in the past and the results that they got from that, okay? But overall, it's focused on giving value to your visitors and giving value to those potential customers. And then we look at capturing emails to really grow a loyal following that views you as an authority on your topic and in your business, which is huge. Now, a lot of people think that email marketing is dead, but not when you do it the right way. Not when you're actually doing it with the intent of serving your following and giving them the helpful value and information that they're looking for. Here's just, some screenshots that I like. The one on the far left with the ebook, The Secret Six, that's actually one of my ebooks that I give away to anybody that signs up, for my email list. And, just some other ideas. Some people do a free webinar. Some people do, maybe a weekly coaching tip, things like that. But just be specific about what it is your visitors are going to get. Okay, so that's just another way that you can serve your target market and attract a following, is to give them value. Okay, if you want to grow a following, if you want to grow your email list, give them something. Let them know what they're going to get out of it. And make it irresistible, right? Make it to where you're solving a specific problem and addressing a specific pain point that they have. Okay, so part 4, creating content that people want. And this is really the core of everything that we're talking about here, about how to stand out online and land your dream customers. How do you set yourself apart so that the right people are finding you? This is really kind of the core of it. So the whole idea, just remember, give. It's all about serving and giving value to people. It's answering their questions, solving their problems, and focusing on benefits and results. Okay? So, and the way you do that is to get very specific, addressing specific problems that people have, and addressing specific pain points that they have, specific questions, and also being consistent with it, right? If you're creating content, like say 1 blog post a week, that's fine. Just try to be consistent with it. If you're doing 2 a week, great, do 2 a week. But be consistent with it to where your following expects it, okay? They know that you do at least 1 blog post a week, okay? So it's all about that. And again, the overarching idea is to give value, not to sell, but to share, okay? remember this quote. I heard this one from a leader that I follow, and it was really great. People don't need a drill. They need a hole. You get that? They don't need the tool. What they want is what the tool gives them. Okay? Nobody needs to go out there and buy a drill. Okay? They need to drill because they need a hole. Okay? So remember that. So relate it to a product. No one wants your health product or your weight loss product or your vitamin or whatever. What they want is to look or feel better. Okay? That's what they want. So focus on that with your content, with your blog posts, videos, whatever it is you're putting out there. Focus on the value. Focus on the results, because that's what they're after. Okay? Countless times I've seen people go out there on social media and post about their product and why it's so great and it's 20% off this month, and if you order this week, you're going to get this free cool little charm or whatever. People don't care about that. What they want is the results. So focus on the results. Focus on the lifestyle, how it makes you feel, look better, whatever it is, the benefits. And then we look at specific types of content. Okay, one, obviously, we talked about it a lot, blog posts. Search engines still love blogs because they're updated regularly, fresh, new content that are much more likely to get pulled up in search engines and indexed, which is exactly what you want. And blog posts, like we said, can generate traffic for years. You write one blog post that gets popular, and it could generate traffic back to you, back to your website for years, okay? No, not every blog post that you write is going to generate a ton of traffic. But every now and then you're going to hit on one that addresses a specific problem that people are out there looking for, and it's going to get popular. And then that's going to give you, hey, ideas of maybe you should write a few more blog posts, around that topic if that's a popular post. So it's a great way to really get out there and see what people are wanting. And always remember, with blog posts, you can always go back and update them. You can always go edit them, change them, throw in some more links, throw in some more images, because it's always up there and it's always on your site for you to update and edit. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And then videos. Videos are really the hottest, best way to connect with people because they see you, they hear from you, they see your personality, and they really feel like they get to know you. And it's really a chance for you to talk directly to them and just be yourself, be natural. I am nowhere near natural on camera. Okay, it's not even natural for me to do this training and to talk into a microphone. Okay, but I'm doing it, right? You're going to get better at it. But don't avoid video because it's incredibly powerful. Facebook loves videos, search engines love videos, and it's also just the best and easiest way to communicate to people. Okay, because like I said, they see you, they feel like they get to know you, and live videos are incredibly powerful right now. To be able to just go live and talk to people, talk to your following, answer their questions, offer them tips is an awesome way to give them value and create the content that people want so that they look at you as an authority and come back for more. And then eventually, of course, they buy from you because they trust you. If you're a makeup artist, do some tutorials and then just kind of say, hey, here's the product that I like to use. I've been using it for 3 years, whatever. That's where you're going to generate a big following of customers that trust you and that buy from you. And then audio, okay? A lot of people overlook audio, but definitely don't. It's very easy to produce, and it's also very easy to consume because you can just listen to it as you go about your day. I listen to audio podcasts while I'm doing yard work. And you can also turn just individual audio into a podcast. Okay, and that's nothing more than just a series of audio clips that you just record. So record a 10 to 15 minute audio addressing, top 3 exercises you can do at home to strengthen your triceps. Something like that. Whatever it is for you in your business. If you're a freelance designer, maybe my top 5 secrets for using, Illustrator or Photoshop or, something like that. So, again, very easy to consume, very easy to, for people to get out there and listen to it. Okay, so part 5 really kind of brings it on home, asking for the sale and then finally landing your dream customers, right? How do you take somebody from a follower, a loyal, follower visitor? How do you actually finally turn those people into customers? Well, one way is to really spend some time getting out there and hanging out with your target market. Okay? We talked earlier about going on Facebook and finding groups and being part of these communities, but really get out there and hang out with them. Go meet some people, ask them some questions, and you can do this online. Just send them messages and pay attention with some things that they're posting and the questions they're asking. And once you do that, that allows you to really develop relationships with people. And yes, this maybe can take some time, but once people see that you're generally concerned and care for the problems that they have and the questions that they're asking and bringing them answers and value, they're much more likely to be open to seeing what you can do for them. Okay, so get to know some people, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, it really is. It's really fun to develop genuine relationships with people who you want to help and who you can help. Again, with your product, service, business, whatever that is. And then we look at sending great content to your email list, giving value, helpful advice, not being salesy. But also when to finally offer sales, when to, ask for the sale, and also how to give stuff away for free. Give away, free samples or free, advice, or maybe an ebook or an excerpt from an ebook or something like that. And then, if people get some value from it, hey, for the full product, go here or click here, or let them know what you use after, you've taught them how to use it and given them the value and the benefits of it. And then looking at doing this on social media and how social media is all about sharing so much more than selling. A lot of people they try to use social media to sell, but that's not what people are on social media for. So to understand the intent of why people go to certain social media platforms, and it's usually for entertainment or education or maybe to connect with other people, and to understand that no one wants your product. They want the benefits, okay? And we talked about that earlier, but really keep that in mind on social media, because people don't go to social media to be sold to. That's not why they're there. So you really need to understand people's intent on social media before you can really start crafting some content to finally, turn those people into customers. And then we look at pay-per-click advertising. This would be like Google AdWords or Bing ads. And if you've never done that before, don't worry. We actually go through and step-by-step of how to set those up. And pay-per-click advertising is actually the best way to start bringing targeted traffic to your website fast. I mean, you can really do it within a day. Okay, so if you've got a website set up with, purchasing options or whatever, you can actually start doing that right away. And you can do it by focusing on specific keywords that people are actually out there entering on these search engines and that they're looking for, so that you can make sure that they're finding you, right? And it also gives you total control over the cost and bidding on certain keywords, when you want to do the ads, everything like that. So you really have total control of all that. And then we look at Facebook ads. Okay, now Facebook ads allow you to get incredibly targeted, demographics, whether you're looking for, women in their 30s who are interested in working out or whatever. Really, really targeted ads. And we also look at different examples of different Facebook ads and really how simple it is to just get that up there, because you don't need to write a lot, but you can get it up there. And same thing with the pay-per-click ads, you can control pretty much every aspect of it. So you don't have to fork over a ton of money, in the beginning. It's just kind of pay as you go. And if you need to pause it, stop it, and adjust some things, you absolutely can. But Facebook ads are a great way to get out there and not only attract a following, but to also finally turn those into paying customers. And then we look at asking for the sale on your website. Ways to make it easy and very clear of where people can go to eventually buy from you. And then again, always focusing on the value and the benefits, right? But not being salesy or pushy, out in front, but helping people eventually get to the point to where they really want to buy from you. Why? Because you've given them so much value and so much advice up to that point that they really want to do business with you because they trust you, they like you, you've helped them out so much to where you really turn these followers into customers in large part because they want to do business with you. And that's really cool, and that's really fun to see. So what we're really talking about is turning highly targeted leads into paying customers or clients who buy from you or hire you or who want to work with you. And that's so incredibly powerful and awesome when that happens. So hope you got a ton of value from that. Hope it all made sense. Definitely go back through it, download the training, and just like this little red ball here in the middle, I promise you do this consistently, and you're the one who's going to stand out online, in a very crowded internet where a lot of people are focused on selling and pushing and the old, model of push marketing, like I said. So how to stand out online and land your dream customers, the full course, what are you going to get? In the course is more than 35 lessons, and I'm adding some lessons to that as we go, so I say at least 35. It's 4.5 hours of content, going through the different sections that we did, really diving deep and specifically of not only what to do, but also how to do it. And also in the course, you get lifetime access so that you can always go back and watch a lesson, go over a section again, and then anytime I update the course, you'll also get notified of that, anything that's added. So just a real quick review. Just from a student. This course answered questions I didn't even know I had. David's take on landing dream customers has completely demystified the process of getting my own website up and running. His expertise is considerable, and he shares it in a way that's humorous and easy to understand. As someone who needed to start with the basics, it was encouraging to get concrete tools on how to create a website, how to fill it with relevant and valuable content, and then use it to grow a business. The course content is curated for maximum effect and laid out in an efficient manner, well worth the time and cost. So great review there from Carrie. Travis says, the course has been very helpful teaching me that owning my own online business can be an extremely profitable venture. It makes it easier to buy into a course when you can see real life examples and how it has changed someone's life, which David did a great job of starting off with. The course is broken down with step-by-step examples of how to target your dream customers, grow your online business, and hold your hand the entire way. I highly recommend this course if you're serious about either starting an online business or looking for other avenues to grow your income. So also within the course, the bonuses that you're going to get, okay? Incredibly valuable, really excited to bring these. We talked about my favorite WordPress plugins to attract your dream customers. And here's just an example of one slide of one plugin. So we do a screenshot of the plugin, and then we talk about why it's important and why and what it does to really help you attract your dream customers. And then we also give you the 4-part formula for telling your story so that you can write an awesome about page on your website, and so that you can really show your potential customers and clients who you are and really connect with them in a personal way that's really important. And at the end of the course, you're going to get my ebook for free, The Secret 6, and it's 6 pro writer secrets to go from a blog beginner to master in a week. All 6 of these things you can start doing immediately to really start writing like a pro. Okay, these are all secrets that I've used throughout my career and that I've also learned from and watched other writers do to really make their writing more professional and more effective. And it's all something that anybody can start doing right away. Okay, there's the cover of the ebook, so you can, read it on your computer, laptop, tablet, whatever. And then at the end of the book, it's also going to give you my entrepreneur must-have library. And these are all books that I've recommended, that I've read and learned from throughout my career that have been just absolutely invaluable to me. So they're all ones that I highly recommend. And you're also going to get direct access to me to ask me any questions or ask me any advice throughout the course, and also have the ability to maybe send me just an excerpt of a blog post that you did to see what I think about it. And you're also going to get a minimum 20% discount on all future courses that I do and that I release. So you buy this one, and in the future, any course that I release, if you're a current student, you'll automatically get at least a minimum 20% discount on all future courses, which is awesome. Okay, so enroll today. You can go directly to the link up there at the top, coachdavidlee.com/courses. The course is normally $95. You get all that, the course, all the bonus material, normally $95. You go to the link today, 20% off, just $76 to start taking the course right away. You can take it at your own pace. You do not have to take it all at once. The platform that it's on also is very mobile friendly. It has an app, so you can actually watch it on your computer. You can watch it on your phone, which is really cool to be able to take it with you and learn from wherever you are. So head on over to the link, coachdavidlee.com/courses. You can also click through and just learn some more about the course too. Learn some more about specifically what you're going to get out of it, but all that information is there, and you can start enrolling in it right away and taking it right away. coachdavidlee.com/courses. So hope the training was awesome for you. Definitely don't forget to connect. Obviously my website, coachdavidlee.com, all of my social media links there. I have a ton of free coaching and advice on those links. Try to do as many live videos as I can with coaching. So drop me a comment, leave me a question. Let me know what you thought of the training, what you thought of the course. Would definitely love to hear from you and see what you're doing out there online to stand out from the crowd and attract your dream customers and grow your business. Okay, so I appreciate you taking the training. I hope it was a lot of value. If you got value from it, share it out, give it a like, share it with people who you think would get some value from it, and definitely will love to see you in the course. Would love for you to take the course, be a student, and let's see how we can get out there, attract your dream customers, and grow your business. Thanks.